and then pull and separate. Okay. All right. So what you see is the shield. So we just do this. It's like a braid. It's like a little bit like a braid. It's not plaited, but well, it is plaited actually. It's braided. So once you separate it by doing that, you can then separate there. Now don't worry about what you see inside there at the moment yet. They're the core conductors. But I do have the shield twisted and out of the way with no strands. One strand is all it takes. Used in the extrusion process. It's just paper and cloth. It's cotton and a bit of paper. It kind of lubricates the extrusion process in manufacturing. Extrusion. Yeah, when you're extruding stuff in manufacturing, you need like it acts as a lubricant kind of thing. Extruding is, so I'm using a piece of paper here to just measure what I've got is roughly 15 mil, or it's exactly 15 mils. So you can see I've cut a little bit too much, but that's okay because it's better to cut too much than too little. Still a little bit too much, so cut a little bit more.
After you do that, you have to go through testing and tagging?
I'm going to now strip the inner cores. There's one. Come down close and have a look at that. There's the exposed inner core. About 3 mil of it, that's all you need. And you want to permeate the iron with that solder. It's now liquid and it's like ready to actually work on. So you know the iron's hot enough at this point. To clean the solder off, you either use the gauze, which is good, steel wool, or it's copper wool, I guess, brass wool. And because the tissue is wet, it doesn't burn, and it's a great way to clean the iron. If you tap, the solder will just jump off. Filming now. So be patient, let the heat permeate. The earth will take the longest because this is the most amount of solder there. Make sure you permeate plenty of solder, so a whole liquid, and then melt it into the earth. So you notice I'm using the iron on one side and just melting the solder through the earth cable. The earth cable is now a solid piece of silver mass, and it doesn't take long to do the core conductors. That happens very quickly, and you need a steady hand, which I right there. Stiff you get, and they can be trimmed down if you need to. And you can hear they're quite stable. They're all the same length, and that's ready to be joined. Sorry. You'll see this is an older one. So what I can do is desolder this in order to reuse it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
The earth takes a little longer because it's very thick and it absorbs a lot of heat before it melts. So be patient with that. The iron could be needing a little longer. Solder for the connector, it absorbs a lot of solder. There's already some on it though. In this case I'll just tin it a little bit more. Notice I've got the iron on one side of what I'm tinning and the solder on the other. That's tinned, and then in here I should be able to melt solder straight onto the... There it goes, it's starting to melt. Almost. There it goes. So cleaning the iron. Perfectly clean hot iron. This iron is just a little bit too... No. Try and get in from the side though if you can. There we go, there it goes. Alright, I've got melting and hold still.
So that was the earth?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
Too much heat. Here, see, I've melted the insulation. It might look all right from the top, but from underneath, it's actually been damaged. Involves pressing that down and over there. Remove. Careful not to touch. Just check that it's not too hot. It's all right to touch. So there's definitely space between the core conductor and the earth. There's no way they can touch. All right. Before you bother doing it up, you must test it. So in order to test it, you would need to have the other end exposed, which obvious. This is the positive, the hot terminal. Okay, and I touch on the hot wire, and I'm getting continuity. But if I touch the earth, there should be no continuity. Otherwise, you've got a short circuit. Put the one terminal of the multimeter on the sleeve and the other on the earth, and check for continuity there. And we have continuity for an unbalanced negative signal to travel as well. That's tested and can be assembled. There is no short circuit, and it's fine, ready to be ready to be assembled.